Paris.
Good morning everyone, welcome back to our channel Mirco, Tere and Baby Bella. Today we are going to talk about what?
We're going to have a quick talk about buying a condo versus buying house and lot here in the Philippines.
Yes, let's see together which is best to invest in a condominium or in a house and lot. Let's start.
We received a lot of messages, comments, and emails from you guys about our recent vlogs about buying a condo here in Makati and BGC, and we appreciate all your advice, all your suggestions, your opinions. Even your emails are so long, but we haven't replied to all of them yet. But we
have read it all.
Yes,
right?
but we will get back to you as soon as we can, and we are thankful for you guys taking the time to send us your thoughts, and to everyone who's giving us advice, thank you so much. The talk that we're giving to you right now is based on our experience.
Yes.
It might be different for other people.
And you can share it also yours, right? If you have any suggestion, just please comment below your experience, your advice, so also other people can read it and maybe take inspiration, right?
Yeah, we can learn from them.
So let's start first of all with the pro of living in a condominium and the pro of living in a house and lot. When we are talking to investing in a property, there are many factors to consider. But let's start with the pro of living in a condominium. First of all is accessibility. We have accessibility to malls, to parks, to work, to hospital, to schools. Living, of course, in a condominium, it means that you are living in Metro Manila or in big cities. And this will save you a lot of time to reach many of these places. Another pro of living in a condominium is the convenient to living in the city, because living in the city you have services 24/7. You will not have instead if you live most likely in province area or in house and lot remote from the metro. Another pro of living in a condominium is the security, because there is security 24/7 at the lobby. So anyone that come in and come out is monitored. Living in a house and lot or even in a village with a gate, you don't have anyway the same security. Another pro of living in the condominium are the amenities, because in the condominiums we will have pools, play area for kids, sometimes even mall, and so much more. In house and lot you most likely will not have. Also maintenance. A pro of investing in a condominium is that you will have less maintenance compared house and lot, because the maintenance in a unit in a condominium is way much smaller compared house and lot or house in the province that normally are way bigger, because also of course building a house in the province is less expensive than to buy a house in a condominium. And last but really important for someone, you will not have karaoke if you invest in a condominium. It sounds a joke, but it's true. If you invest in a condominium, in particular if you buy in one of the last floors of the condominium, you will have much noise compared buying a house in the province or a house and lot outside Metro Manila. And of course you will avoid tricycle noises, animals, karaoke, and all these things that for someone can be an issue. Now let's see the pro of living in house and lot. First of all is the privacy. Living in a house and lot, you will have more privacy. Not only with your neighbor, but also with the people that live in the house. It will be most likely bigger than just a condominium, and you will have more privacy inside your house and outside the house. Even if you live in a village where all the houses are attached to each other, you will have anyway a firewall that will divide you from your neighbor. While living in a condominium, you will have just a wall, and sometimes are not even big walls, but are just small walls that are dividing you from your neighbor. And that can be an issue for many. Another thing is that if you buy a house and lot, most likely you will have parking space. In a condominium, you will need to buy a parking lot. And buying a parking lot nowadays in Metro Manila, it's really expensive. Around 1 to 2 million pesos at least. And another pro of living in house and lot is that most likely you will not have monthly dues. You can have, if you live in a village, a small amount of monthly dues, but not as big as living in a condominium. Now let's see the cost for buying a house and lot or a condominium. Here we need to say that, example, if we buy a condominium, is less expensive upfront. When I say that it's less expensive upfront, in the meaning that you don't need to shoulder all the money right away like normally you had to do when you buy a house and lot. When you buy a house and lot, also you need to build and you need to have all the money. With the condominium nowadays is not anymore like this, because you can start to give an initial amount of money and then after pay in installment the condominium. But the condominium for sure will be way more expensive than house and lot in terms of space. So if you buy a condominium, the space will be less bigger than house and lot. But the quality of a condominium most likely will be higher compared to house and lot, because how the developer are building condominium are well made. While you buy your own lot and you build the house, it's really hard to maintain the same quality that a condominium is made. So you need to consider also this. The condominium is more expensive but better quality. When you buy a house and lot, it will be less expensive, but also the quality will not be the same. When we invest in a condominium or in house and lot, we need to consider also the plants and pets. Many people nowadays want pets, and not all the condominium allowing pets. And the condominium that allowing pets, the space where you will live in is limited. If you love to live with many animals and many plants, for sure the condominium will not be the best investment that you can do. Another important factor when we invest in a condominium or in house and lot is renovation and expansion. When we buy a condominium, it will be really hard to expand eventually if we want our space, because you will need to buy the neighbor apartments, but not always will be for sale. So when you buy a condominium, most likely you will know already the area that you will have, and you will be able to renovate it, but you will never be able to expand it in most of the case. While if you invest in house and lot, you can start with a small area and eventually in the future expand it, making 2-story building, 3-story building, or do whatever you want inside your lot. And now it's really important to talk about maintenance, because in house and lot, the maintenance are way higher compared a condominium. While the condominium, it's a small area, is a small, most likely unit, even if it's big, can be around 150 square meter. Sometimes if you buy a loft, it can be even bigger, but generally the units in the condominiums are small. So the maintenance will be also more cheap. While if you invest in house and lot, and this we can say it by experience, because our house in Palawan, the maintenance are really way higher, because you can get so many problems. When you build the house, we said that the quality is not that good, so you will have more problems, you will need to keep fixing stuff, and you will need to maintain. So in Palawan example, we need to have a helper that help us. We have Ateviv that maintain the garden, that clean the house, etc., etc. While when we live in the condominium, realistically, we don't need much help. We call sometimes the cleaner if it's needed, but not every day. While in the other side, you will need to pay monthly dues in the condominium, as we said, while you will not need to pay in the house and lot. And now we need to talk about ownership and investments, because while we buy a condominium, although we will be part of the corporation, so we will be owner in somehow of the land of the condominium, but we will never be really owner 100% of what we are going to buy. While if you buy a house and lot, will be forever yours, and you will be able to also hereditate to your son, to your daughter, eventually to the people that will come after you. While in the condominium, of course, you will be more tied to the corporation, that anyway there are rules to follow, and all the problem that you need to have with a corporation. And last, we need to talk about investment opportunities. Which is best to invest, in house and lot or in a condominium? Well, this depends really based on the needs of each one of us. Example, if you're working in BGC or in Makati and you don't want to commute, of course you will be forced to make an investment near your working space. So you will need to buy, of course, a condominium in Makati or BGC. But if, example, instead you just want to make an investment and maybe profit from it, so maybe to rent it out and to take profit from that without living in, then here the things are changing. When you rent a condominium, of course, you know already most likely how much you will rent the condominium, and you know also how much you are going to buy. And the investment normally will be always around the 10-year investment. So before that you will be able to take back your investment will pass normally around 10 years. Instead, when you buy a house and lot, you have way much more margin of working inside your lot and what you build. This option is way more profitable rather than invest just in a condominium. After that we see all the pro and the cons of investing in a condominium or in house and lot. Each one of us will choose which is best to invest in. Not for everyone can be the same. And example, today we are looking also on condominiums because we don't know in the future what we will really do with Bella Bella for the study. That's our concern and one of the considerations why we are thinking to invest in a condominium today. But with no doubt, if we are talking about investment and we have already one place where to live in, for sure buying a house and lot will be more profitable in the short term compare a condominium. Because it's true, when you buy a condominium, you are investing in a condominium and you try to rent a condominium, will be easier to rent it out. But when you buy a house and lot, you have more space to play in the area and you will have more opportunities on what you are going to build inside your lot. If we're talking just about investment, because of course, if you have already a house where to live and we need to invest money in the house and lot that we're going to buy, we can make there apartments, we can make there a restaurant, a shops, you can make so many things. More just than buy a condominium that eventually you will just be able to rent it out. And also, it's really important to consider this, when you rent out a condominium, you will still need to pay, of course, the monthly association dues and all the things that a condominium will comport. So, if we are looking for investing money in something and living already in another place, definitely the house and lot will be the best investment for my opinion, for my knowledge and suggestion that many people give us lately. Let us know in the comment below what do you think about, where do you think is best to invest. It's everything for today. I hope I answered to some of the questions and we saw together which is best to invest in. For us, for sure, it's better to invest in house and lot in the province if you're talking about just investment to take profit out of it. But we are looking for a condominium also because in the future we don't know where baby Bella will need to study and where we will basically live most of the time. That's the reason why we are looking also for some condominium. It's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching us. See you in the next video. Ciao ciao.